Okay, at this point, you should all know how to get to this screen on your SparkView app. Most of you are using this on a Chromebook, some of you may be on an iPad. Regardless, you should all be able to access this screen at this point. Once you are here, you're going to go ahead for this field of friction lab, you're going to press sensor data. And if you have your force sensor already plugged in, you should find that your force sensor is here. And you have three choices: force push positive, force pull positive, and just plain old force. Just like you learned in your simulation yesterday, the force sensor can be used to either pull things or to push, to have something get pushed on it. In this lab, we're going to pull a block, so we're going to click force pull positive. Make sure you don't click push positive, because if you do, all your numbers will be negative, okay? Ignore that screen. We're going to go to force pull positive, and then for our template, we're going to go ahead and choose graph for this lab. Okay, so you should have a nice graph. Now keep in mind, the first thing you need to do is make sure you zero out the force sensor. And when you zero out the force sensor, you should have nothing on the hook. Nothing on the hook. So make sure the hook is free of any ropes or strings or any other devices that may even bang up against it. And then you're going to go ahead and hit start. It's going to start to graph something. You can already tell that it is not zero. I'm going to go ahead and press the 0 button at the top of the force sensor, just like you learned in your simulation yesterday. And you'll see that my graph jumps down to 0 and kind of is hovering at 0. That's how I know my force sensor is zeroed out. Okay. Once you have done that, you can go ahead and clear this data. There's a couple ways you can do that. You can either just uncheck run 1 and it will disappear. It's still there, but it will disappear. If you want to get rid of it altogether, you're going to hit this experimental tools button, and then you're going to go to manage runs, delete last run. It'll say, are you sure? And you're going to say yes, and now it has disappeared. Okay. Now, when you run your trials, you're going to be pulling the block with the force sensor. So you will see that once I have pulled the block just very, very slightly, the goal is to get it to so that it's just started to move. You're going to want to calculate the maximum value at the top. So to do that, you're going to go ahead and come down here to the statistics icon. Once you click the statistics icon, you can go ahead and click maximum. So for this lab, we're interested in the maximum value that was read by the force sensor. Once you click the maximum value, you will notice that the actual value is not placed at the top. That's okay. What this is telling you is that for the entire line that was graphed, for this entire green line, the maximum value is 0.38. And if you kind of look across, you can kind of say, yeah, that's about right here, which is 0.38. Okay, so this is actually telling you this top maximum value. It just places it in a weird spot. So that's how you read the maximum static friction that the force sensor recorded.